Welcome back to Letting Go University. We're in the final lessons, and we're in the final lessons going over some of the basics. As I've shared before, I've been through this workbook a few times, and I still don't get it. I still haven't recognized the problem so that it can be solved. Oh, what did they tell us? What did they tell us in these lessons? Well, they said something like, the problem is believing I'm separate from him who is my source. So when I say this holy instant would I give to you, be you in charge, for I would follow you, certain that your direction gives me peace. I'm reminded all the way back to the 70s lessons. Let me recognize the problem so it can be solved. I'm wanting to pretend to be separate from God and all that is. I really want to claim that I'm a small, separate ego, mind, body with all of its feelings and not at one with him who is my source. They told us, didn't they tell us? I am one self united with my Creator. That's it. That's it. So when I say this holy instant would I give to you, be you in charge, for I would follow you, certain that your direction gives me peace. That's the peace of my one self. That's the charge of my one self. That's my one self that I'm following and giving this holy instant to. My one self united with my Creator. So there's these great openers that are given to us all along the way, which each and every lesson could be used to go all the way. You don't need 365 lessons. I mean, it's nice. I'm grateful for the 365 lessons, but I messed up on lesson 70. I didn't quite get lesson 152. And to just keep on letting go and letting God. Here in the final lessons, when we give it all to him, when we really do practice being, not just practice, become one self united with our Creator, when we really recognize God is with me and I live and move in him, when we really give our lives to God today, when we make that decision, the last remnants of ego defenses are going to come up, to be surrendered, to be relinquished. We let go of valuing what is valueless, what we learned from our parents, what we learned from the world, what seemed like a good idea at the time. We let it go and let God. So today we're looking at wanting separation and being not the doer. The ego thinks it's doing everything separate from God. It thinks it'll claim credit for doing the Course in Miracles, and the spiritual pride will come in. I know the way now, guys. Look at me. I'm holier than thou. It claims credit for all of your spiritual progress and attempts to reinforce itself and hold on to its illusory imaginary power by claiming credit for your spiritual evolution. But we have been told that it is by grace that we live, and by grace we are released. No, this is the field. This is our loving Father. This is the Christ with us that we give all credit to. Not because we're separate, because the ego is fighting for survival and attempting to convince us that it is doing this. So today we're going to let go with one of these final lessons, with 362, I guess today would be, of some wanting separation and imagining that we are doing it separate from God. Wanting to claim credit for this stuff as an ego. So let's begin. This holy instant would I give to you, be you in charge, for I would follow you, certain that your direction gives me peace. This holy instant would I give to you, O Lord. Be you in charge, for I would follow you, certain that your direction gives me peace. This holy instant would I give to God, my Father. He is in charge, and I would follow him, certain that his direction gives me peace. And could you allow yourself to be at peace in his charge, at one with him? Give just this moment. How about just this moment, this holy instant? Give it to your Father. Give it to your Lord. Give it to the Christ. And just notice what happens for you. Watch and witness what's done for you. What has already been handled and always will be in God. But who is this that gives an instant to God? That places God in charge, pretends that that's an option. Who is the follower? Who is being given peace? Oh, there's an idea that there's a separate ego apart from God, doing things apart from God. And taking credit all along the way. And could you just allow yourself to notice any remnants of any sense that you are doing it apart from him? Any wanting to be separate? And without judging or moralizing about it, making it bad or wrong, could you just notice this core ego program of wanting separation, claiming to be the doer of things separate from God? And just allowing the feeling behind those claims, behind that vanity, behind that spiritual pride, that feeling. And just opening it up, wherever you feel it, whatever comes up. Maybe it feels like a sensation in the head, maybe in the gut. Wherever it seems to be, whatever that feeling is, could you open up? We'll just call it wanting separation, taking credit for what God does. Trying to be a separate ego, that feeling. And could you ignore the thoughts and just let this feeling of wanting separation, wanting to take credit apart from God, open that up? Whatever that feels like, just letting it come up, letting it be there, and surrendering it to God. It seems like I'm separate. The Course has told me this isn't true. I surrender this to Thee, O Lord, Father, Christ. For the ego does not want to dissolve itself. I turn this over to Thee, O Lord. Surrender. Would You surrender this wanting separation, the sense that You do something apart from God? Just give it up. Just surrender it to Him. With humility, we relinquish being the doer. We relinquish spiritual pride. We relinquish wanting to be separate from God. If we choose, if you choose, for the power of decision is your own, part of your divine inheritance package. This holy instant would we give to Thee, O Lord. Thou art in charge, for we would follow Thy will, certain that Thou hast guided us in peace. Only peace is to come as we relinquish our imagined sovereignty, our imagined independence, our imagined being separate from all that is, our imagined doing things apart. As we relinquish the ego that would claim that God's Son is separate from Him. And just notice any more wanting to be separate, any more claiming you're apart from Him. That's the ego. And so rather than fight it, allowing it up, because to fight it claims it's real, just opening up, letting up the wanting separation, the vanity of being the doer, just opening it up, the pride, the spiritual pride, allowing it up. And ignoring the thoughts, just feeling what that feels like. That wanting separation from God. That pretending that's possible through making an imaginary character, personality called the ego. What it feels like to pretend to be doing things apart from God. Could you just let that feeling run and surrender that ego program? Just surrendering that feeling, that wanting separation to God. Could you surrender that? Would you surrender being the doer as a separate ego apart from Him? When could you surrender the illusion of separation and wanting it? Just letting go whenever you choose to be oneself united with your Creator. Letting go of the ego's credit, taking credit for what God does, letting go of being the doer separate from God. If you choose. It's just a core ego survival program. In fact, the very first one. A thought, a wish to be separate from God. And to allow that to release, to relinquish that decision, let it go. And today, this holy instant given to God, He is in charge, and I would follow Him, certain of the peace of His divine guidance, direction, here and now. This holy instant given to God, He is in charge, for we would follow Him, certain of the peace going His way. And noticing any more the ego would be panicking at this point. No, you need to be separate. You look at what you've done. Oh, yes, the ego taking credit for what one does, dividing it into many. And could you allow yourself to just notice any more sense or even wanting to be a doer separate from God? Any wanting separation. And this need not be denied, rejected, refused. All of that claims it's real. Could you just open up and surrender this ego program? However that feels, that wanting separation, however that feels, pretending to be the doer of things, separate from God. Could you just open up and allow the light to dissolve what doesn't exist, a separate ego. A doer apart from Him. Could you surrender, give up wanting to be separate from God? Would you surrender? Being a doer, a small separate ego. When could you surrender the vanity of maintaining this illusion to God? And give your life, what you are, all of it, to your one self. To live and move in God today. And even the sense that there is a separate I surrendering, could you turn it over to divine grace? By grace I live, by grace I am released. Could you relinquish the vanity and pride of doing things separate from God, claiming credit as an ego, being the doer? Could you surrender that to God? Would you surrender? Give up. The only problem, wanting to and believing that you or anything could be separate from God. This holy instant would I give to you. Be you in charge, for I would follow you, certain that your direction gives me peace. Well done releasing. And there could be more. This is one that it's the core ego program, pretending to be separate from God, wanting to be, and the belief that I do this. It is me apart from God. And so to just continue to notice if there's any more of these ego tendencies as they arise, these ego programs, these feelings other than love, peace, joy, happiness, and just to continue to let go, turn it over to Him. He's in charge. Have the best day you can.